Mania weekend as Javante Tank Davis, he got the stoppage against Frank Martin. David Benevidez, he looks sharp, man, just like I thought he would. Him by decision. I did say if he got the stoppage, it'd be a statement, but I think David Benavidez is he's gonna beat guys by points at that weight at least because he's got the output. And then, to be honest, man, I'm gonna eat some crow, but Liam Paro pulled off the big upset. I did not expect that. He came in to Puerto Rico and beat on Sabril Matias, and it wasn't really like a one-sided fight. Like I thought it was a closer fight, but even with the point deduction, he still won a unanimous decision. So I mean, Sabril Matias just didn't let his hands go, and he paid the price. I didn't know what he was thinking, man, because after seventh, eighth round, he should have never thought that he needed a stoppage. He needed a stoppage, but like he should have pressed the gas, man. He just didn't, and he loses his IBF title, second loss of his career, and it was an upset, man. Because I mean, Liam Pyro had everything against him. Even the referee was against him. Like this guy was warning him for absolutely nothing. But let's start with Tank Davis at the top. Tank Davis returning to the ring, obviously from being out the ring for issues outside the sport. But he's back, and anytime we got a superstar that's back in the sport, it's good for boxing. Generates a lot of talk, gets a lot of casuals out. As you've seen, he brought the stars out to Vegas, and it was a terrific event, man. It was a great card from top to bottom. We had a few upsets, and I thought Tank Davis looked great in his return. It's always good to see the young man step on the gas. He pressed the fight, and I thought for Frank Martin, unless he landed something, with Tank coming in, he was in trouble, man. And as we saw, Tank walked him down and got the stoppage. And the thing about Tank is, thinking about him, I like is he's like Crawford, man. He's got power, obviously crazy power for his size, but he's very precise and he doesn't waste no punches. He's accurate as hell. So he put Martin right out. He put him where he wanted to put him, and pretty much stopped the fight in the eighth round. I thought Frank Martin was gonna go the distance with Tank. You know, um, I just thought that Frank Martin had the tools to give Tank some troubles, and that the layoff would affect Tank. But no, Tank looked great. And Frank Martin, I think he needs to move up to 140. He looked terrible in the weigh-ins. I don't know. Like I'm not one of these fans that complain about weight and nutritionists and all this, that, and the third. Because if the guy can make the weight, the guy can fight. But let's be honest here. Frank Martin did not look good at the weigh-in. He just didn't. And I don't know if it's these guys are doing the weight cuts wrong, maybe, or it's just like he just took off a whole bunch of weight at the end, and you just can't do that, man. Like spending the last couple weeks of your camp just trying to make weight, draining yourself like that. So I mean, for Frank Martin, if he can't, like, I get it. It's a big money fight. A lot of people were saying that, the money. I totally get it, man. A big opportunity at a title, world title, and yeah, the money's right. So I get all that for the weight dream, but I think Frank Martin moving forward should move up to 140. I think he'll be more hydrated, have a little bit more energy, and he's not that small of a guy in stature where he can't compete at that weight. And there's a lot of fights up there for him. Like there's a lot of names that can make him some good money. So I mean, Frank Martin, I think he should throw his name in the 140 hat and see where it falls, man. As far as David Benavidez and Vosdick, um, David Benavidez at 175, he looks good, man. I think like he's gonna be all right moving forward. A lot of people were like mad at him. He didn't get the stoppage, but I'm just like, man, like David's never been like a KO artist. He's a guy whose output is crazy. He's gonna beat you up for 10, 12 rounds. And he's that type of guy. He's not gonna stop you, man. Really, he's gonna make your corner have to throw the towel in because you're taking a beating. That's what it is. So I think David Benavidez fares well at this division. We'll have to see how Bivol and Better fight. Um, I think David can beat both of them still. He just needs more time at the division. What I mean is he needs to fight like guys like maybe Anthony Yard. Well, David Morrell's up there now too. He might have to fight him too. So I mean, there's names at 75 for these guys. It's gonna get really interesting quickly in the 75 division because either after the wins, I don't know if Bivol and Beterbiev got a rematch clause, but they may have to fight again. If not, I'm sure David Morrell or Benevidez will want one of those guys, whether it's Morrell gets the loser or and Benavidez, I think in this case will get the winner because he's a WBC intern. It'll be interesting to see how the 175 division gets mixed up here. It's been a while since it's had some excitement in it. We've kind of just saw this path of Bivol and Beterbiev, and we've known they've been the top two, and we just wanted to see them fight. But now you got a couple other names in the mix. It makes things a little interesting, right? So we'll see how that fares. And then we're going over to Puerto Rico quick, and Leon Paro, he got the upset win against Sabril Matias. Leon Paro just won rounds, man. And I think that's the recipe of beating Matias. Even though he's a guy who's a very high output guy, he's flat footed. So like when he's throwing those punches, obviously he's coming downhill. It's tough to stop him. But if you can get him be first before he starts throwing, he's so flat-footed that the second or the third punch is gonna make him step back 2 steps because of his feet. So he can't really, and he's not slipping shots. So you're not gonna be worried about him moving his head, which is weird to me. But so he's not slipping shots and he's getting hit with something and it's moving them back. So he has to reset, come back, and you just got to be first. And obviously, your fitness level has to be on 1,000 because to be first the whole fight, because Matias is not stepping back, it's gonna take a lot out of you. And I think that's what they were counting on. They're counting on Liam Power gassing out. They're counting on him going down, and then they can just execute on getting those flurries at the end. But Liam Paro, he stayed on the game plan. Use his feet, stop, boom, boom, boom. Use his feet, stop, boom, boom, boom. Just kept moving Matias back, and Matias wasn't throwing. So it was even worse because now it just looks like one guy is really just way more active than the other guy because you're not even throwing punches. So Matias, you know, I don't know if it was the moment that got to him going back home, being in your home country, a lot of distractions, obviously, a lot of pressure on you as a champion. And then he was doing a lot of just things that just didn't tell me he was taking Liam Power serious. Like he's over here making fights with Regis Prograis. He's ranking all the other 40 guys, talking about this guy's chicken, this guy's coward, this that. Yeah, he wasn't saying much about Liam Power, the guy who was in front of him, and I think it bit him in the ass. And it'll be interesting to see what Eddie Hearn does next with Sabril Matias. I think we'll see him as a co-main again. Obviously, I was somebody. If you go check my videos, who was vouching for this Matias to get his main event opportunity, and I thought he was gonna stop Paro. So I'm gonna eat my crow. And I never said though Liam Paro was any scrub. I said people are sleeping on him too. I said he's a good fighter. I just didn't think Sabril Matias was gonna have his hands in his pocket. That's what it seemed like. And I heard there's no rematch clause. And if I'm team Liam Power, I don't even look at that. I go look at unification bouts. I mean, boxing's like it's a small window to even be a world champion, to even get an opportunity. So the fact that you can unify with some of these other guys who have big names, obviously they're busy right now. Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, and Isaac Cruz, they all have fights set up, but not too far from Liam Power. I'm pretty sure Teo's going to be fighting on the 29th of this month, June, and then Devin Haney, he's going to be scheduled soon. So maybe he can push back that purse bid if they get the unification bout signed with Liam Power in time. And then you have Isaac Cruz who's fighting on that Rider season card, August 3rd, Terrence Crawford and Majidov. undercard. He's fighting against Ryo, defending his 140 WBA belt. So, I mean, there's names there for Liam Paro to make good money and be on good cards. So why not, just hang back a bit. Let's see how these chips start to fall. How these guys do when their fights coming up, and then make a rational decision then, instead of just really putting your chips in the bag of going back in there against Sabril Matias. Obviously, he can get the fight in Australia, I'm sure. And I'm sure Sabril Matias, he's not a stranger to traveling. So it would be a fight on the road he would take, obviously, to get his title back and to get his name back in the mix. And that's a good thing about Matias. He's wrote his wrong in the past. He's came back and fought after his loss, avenged it. So we'll see, man. We'll see what goes on. And then obviously we're gonna go back to the PBC card, back to Las Vegas. We had some upsets on the undercard. Kyron Davis. I didn't get to watch the fight, actually. I missed it. He beat Elijah Garcia, who was a very high rated prospect coming up in that 160 division. Kyron Davis, though, he's no scrub. Obviously, if you take a look down at his record, he's only lost to pretty much elite guys. So this was a tough fight for Garcia, and I'm glad he took this tough fight. And I hope that the fans don't throw him away, because he's a guy I think will be back. He'll learn from this, and he'll be an exciting player at that weight for a while. Elijah Garcia, he's very young, so he'll be exciting with that division. The way it's going, it's going really well, man. Those guys are all coming up in that 160 division right now, and obviously, we had Carlos Adames. He beat Gershaw. I'll take my crow there. I thought Gershaw was going to beat Carlos Adames after that long layoff. But Adames retains his WBC title that he was elevated with. And now it'll be interesting to see who he fights next coming forward. There's a lot of guys there, like Hamza Shiraz, Patrice Vonleh. There's dudes there that he can fight for sure. So we'll see. And then Gary Anton Russell and Alberto Pollo. Um that was probably the best fight of the night. In my opinion, like from action, from front to back, being close and just up and down. I really didn't know. Like, I was gonna be happy with whomever won because I thought the fight was that close. But Pollo pulls out the decision, and I wasn't mad with it, man. I think I was just skeptical about Alberto because he had the PED incident where he basically got suspended from the Rolly fight. And he's supposed to fight Rolly for that WBA title, and then obviously they brought in Ishmael Barroso. But yeah, I didn't know how he was gonna look. And then Gary Anton Russell, he kind of had this streak going where he was getting all these stoppages and he's steamrolling everybody. So I just thought Gary was gonna beat him too. I thought Gary was gonna stop him. I think that's what I had it. But nah, man. Pollo came out there and he put shit down. He was fighting his ass off, and he won the fight. I wasn't mad at the decision. I don't think it was a robbery at all. Like I don't think that Gary Anton Russell was controlling the fight in a way where I could have said, yeah, he won decisively. Like, it was back and forth that whole fight. That was a great fight, and I think Gary Anton Russell, we shouldn't throw him away either. He's only got one loss, man. He'll be back. Obviously, I just hope he stays active, man. Activity is key in boxing, and I hope he gets active again and gets back in there, and he can make something special happen here. But yeah, that's my fight recap, man. That's what I think. Let me know what y'all think. How did the Tank and David Benevidez look? What do you guys think is gonna go down for the future of both men? Tank Davis, Benevidez, maybe even Liam Paro, Sabril Matias, Gary Anton Russell. What do you think all holds for these guys moving forward? And let me know what you guys think. I also got a live interview going on Tuesday, June 18th. Sorry, with the legend, one of the best middleweight fighters we've ever seen, James Lights Out Tony. at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I'm hoping to have a great conversation with James, man. He's obviously one of the best fighters that I ever got to see him, as a kid on TV, because he moved up so many divisions and beat so many great guys, and he fought a lot of great guys too. But he was pretty much the last big guy that was like so defensively sound in a sense of like slickness, man. He was so slick for his size. Like he just make you miss. But lights out James Tony will be on the show, live at 9 p.m. If you miss it, just go back and check the channel. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm gonna keep bringing this content. Wednesday I'm going live during the day with my co-host who will be joining me, Patricia. I'll be promoting that. She a little step up more than me. She's an actual journalist, so I'll be getting school here. But just stay with me, man. We're gonna keep making this content, and we're gonna keep bringing it. I'll figure out a schedule to get y'all on. But like I work shift work, man, so like I'm so up and down. My life is not like anybody else's life. You know what I mean? Like some people got their weeks set out. Me, I got my year set out, but I need to organize it more. But yeah, man, I hope everybody had a great weekend with their families, man. Hope everybody enjoyed. Hope all the fathers out there had a good Father's Day, man. Keep doing what you're doing. It's not easy in these times. But just keep grinding, man. I'll be back with another one. It's your boy Ryan Fraser, live from the 6 from the north. Peace.